Mr. Speaker, I rise today to provide this House and the listening public with an update on the topic of school readiness for the school year that has just commenced. I want to take this time to remind honorable colleagues of the critical importance of education and the reform agenda to the overall success of our country. The desire to consistently make comments that are not factual or spoken out of context to achieve political ends is neither helpful nor warranted when it comes to public education reform. As you know, Mr. Speaker, despite comments purposely disseminated to create discord by opposition members and others, all 34 public schools opened for students on Monday, September 11th. Lost in the public discourse on that day was the fact that we opened 2 parish primary schools, have students commencing on the second year of signature learning programs, and education reform is moving along. This is not to say that there has not been challenges. Mr. Speaker, there were challenges in the face of an increased workload over the summer break, resource constraints, and some lapses in coordination between the various partners that worked on readying the facilities for our staff and students. Mr. Speaker, I thank all of the educators, education officers, ERU staff, support staff, maintenance crew, and our colleagues from Public Works for their dedication and hard work to prepare schools for our students. I also acknowledge the teachers' union's recent concerns and importance of addressing them. Mr. Speaker, today I would like to provide some context so we can have a bit more objective information and perspective on the school readiness issues. Mr. Speaker, every year the Department of Education's facility section, with contractors from the private sector and Public Works, they provide routine maintenance for all of our schools and other physical facilities. In addition, the IT department undertakes a number of maintenance and upgrade projects. At the same time, our building custodians are tasked with ensuring the cleanliness of the facilities before they are occupied at the start of the academic year. These maintenances occur during the summer months, which I remind colleagues are July and most of August. Mr. Speaker, this past summer, our summer works projects included approximately 1,250 tasks or projects in our schools and facilities, and special works for the 2 parish primary schools as requested by the school transformation teams. In addition, work had to be done on the decommissioned sites of Clearwater Middle School and Heron Bay Primary. Mr. Speaker, our facilities section consists of 1 facilities manager, a head of custodians, and an administrative assistant. We are grateful for Public Works, and we are grateful to Public Works and the subcontractors who complete much of the work. Mr. Speaker, I will be the first to admit that we did not get a perfect score for school readiness. There were some challenges as expected, but with such a mammoth task, a mammoth project, at a time of significant change and resource constraints in the face of increased workloads. Mr. Speaker, I'm under no illusion as to the nature of the opposition and their supporters' comments in that attempt to paint a picture of dysfunction and that no schools were ready for September 11th. However, I can say that broad, sweeping generalizations about school readiness this year are unjustified. In addition to conducting surveys of schools about their readiness for the school year, the Commissioner of Education is reaching out to the Bermuda Union of Teachers to obtain specifics of their concerns so they can be appropriately addressed and dealt with. Mr. Speaker, the department and the BUT had a difference of opinion concerning Purvis Primary regarding whether classrooms were ready to receive students at the start of term. These concerns were discussed and, in the spirit of collaboration, resulted in an agreement to give teachers additional time to customize their classrooms. Teachers at Francis Patton took a different approach to similar concerns caused by a delay in the works timeline. It should be noted that the situation at Purvis Primary, where summer works delays impacted teacher preparation schedules, was exacerbated by a power supply outage initiated by Belco, which resulted in Purvis being without power during one of the 4 days used for final prep before school was to open on September 11th. Mr. Speaker, due to the agreement between the BUT and the DOE, Purvis Primary students engaged in experiential learning during the first week of the new school year, which can only be described as bizarre. The opposition has already derided the concept of experiential learning as something inferior. Mr. Speaker, experiential learning is connected with the Bermuda History and Social Studies curriculum. As we transform education, we are moving towards more experiential experiential, and personalized learning, where we meet students where they are and build on that. Yet, the Shadow Minister of Education has indicated that he believes that experiential learning is somehow inferior. I can only conclude that the many times I have reached out to the opposition to engage in education reform updates and have not received a response as a reason why such thoughts could be held. Yet again, another sad indictment of the opposition's true understanding of education reform. Mr. Speaker, in short, while not initially planning for the solution that was agreed to by the BUT prior to Purvis primary opening on September 11th, as a reminder, this allowed teachers time to personalize their classrooms. The learning experiences our students engaged in during the first week of school were aligned with our approach to improving education. Mr. Speaker, concerns have been expressed about safety matters. Our children are entitled to safe environments conducive of learning, and in response to safety and health concerns expressed by Purvis primary teachers, Mr. Speaker, the Department of Environmental Health conducted a safety inspection of the school on September 8th. That inspection took place as work was continuing in the school, and any matters identified were addressed on September 10th, 9th, and 10th. Mr. Speaker, as we embark on reform for education, for public education, the department has been committed to continuous improvement. At the start of the school year, 35 school and site leaders, including the Child Development Program Facility, were asked to evaluate the state of readiness of their sites for the new school year as of September 11th. This system-wide survey yielded the following results. 27 of the 34 leaders indicated that they were either neutral, satisfied, or very satisfied overall with the work done at their sites over the summer. 5 in the neutral category, neither satisfied or dissatisfied. 14 were satisfied, and another 7 reported as being very satisfied with the summer works done at their sites. 5 of the 34 school leaders were dissatisfied with the work done over the summer, and 3 indicated that no work was done at their site at all. Aided schools such as Whitney and St. George's Prep do their own maintenance. Drilling down to classrooms, 29 of the school leaders rated their classroom site readiness in terms of classrooms as either excellent, more than satisfactory, or satisfactory. Another 5 indicated that more work was needed to be done as of September 11th. The average rating across the system on a 5-point scale was 3.5. In terms of non-classroom space, 29 of the 34 school leaders rated their school site readiness in terms of non-classroom space as either excellent, more than satisfactory, or satisfactory. Here again, another 5 indicated that there was more work to be done as of September 11th. The average rating across the schools on a 5-point scale was 3.5 for this category. Mr. Speaker, those are the headlines regarding school readiness at the start of the school year. Work on resolving some outstanding issues was ongoing through the first week, although some delays have been encountered due to weather. Some of the issues involved air quality, provision of air conditioners, playground facilities, and technology. The department is analyzing the data and, in collaboration with school leaders, facilities, and our partners at Public Works, will address processes and coordinated improvements from now on, as well as those issues that have been identified as outstanding for some time. In the future, the evaluation survey will take place a few days before teachers are due in school to prepare their classrooms. Mr. Speaker, in addition to the maintenance work, the technology infrastructure is also serviced and upgraded annually. As some of the issues identified as outstanding were IT-related, I would like to provide a brief overview of the type of work done by the IT department and some challenges and issues. In brief, Mr. Speaker, the IT section is responsible for maintaining and operating and upgrading the public school system's IT structure, including servicing and upgrading laptops and other devices issued to staff and students. Daily, IT supports 1,804 student devices and 3,364 staff devices, which include laptops, desktops, and phones. It handles security and issues with user accounts, including PowerSchool accounts. Discharging these responsibilities is a team of 10 full-time staff. Mr. Speaker, the on-site, local to every school, IT section, works, tasks cannot start until school custodians have completed their work, which in turn is impacted by the maintenance, repair, and construction schedules. Compounding the challenge for IT is that all department-issued laptops needing major updating to sync with updated and new IT security tools and operating system patching. All core and many other teachers and officers of the department have been issued with laptops. Mr. Speaker, this summer, all laptops required significant updates, and IT must have possession of them to do the revisions and updating. However, I was made aware that And I've made to understand that, unfortunately, most of the primary school department education laptops had not been left in the school offices despite requests to do so. This then resulted in these required updates to be done during the first week of school, a process that would have left teachers without devices for periods of time. The only school to comply entirely with IT's request was Prospect Primary. Similar requests to enroll in safe and security protocols such as password portal met with less than 50% compliance by task, and this has had an adverse effect on device connectivity. Finally, Mr. Speaker, construction delays, lightning strikes at some primary schools have delayed all low-voltage data cabling tasks, delaying updating some locations with working connections. BPS schools impacted most were St. George's Prep, Francis Patton, Harrington Sound, Paget Primary, and Purvis Primary. Mr. Speaker, despite our best efforts, in addition to the aforementioned IT works, there are still some outstanding works underway. As a result of a wood shortage this summer, proposed purpose-built cabinets and storage at Francis Patton Primary and Purvis are still being worked on. Additionally, there are other minor works still outstanding, but these works are underway and look to be resolved in due course. Mr. Speaker, resolving all of these issues would involve better communication, collaboration, and coordination, whether it's with our partners, staff, families, and the Bermuda Union of Teachers. These are issues that the Department of Education will work collaboratively with stakeholders to ensure the same issues do not arise next year. Mr. Speaker, the ministry will monitor and assist the Department of Education as much as possible as they look to put better processes and procedures in place. We are committed to supporting these efforts while staying the course of education reform. As we will shortly embark on onboarding school transformation teams for the creation of parish primary schools for Elliott and Harrington Sound, as well as the third signature school at Sands Secondary Middle School, I invite the general public to join us as going all in for our students. Feel free to submit your names and become part of the team that will continue to design and drive the education agenda forward. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.